Question number 11B, WASSCE 2024, Liberia and Sierra Leone edition. So a man spent 3 out of 7 of his income on food. Then 1/4 of the remaining income. 1/4 of the remaining income on transport. And 1/3 of what still remain on miscellaneous. So if the amount left as saving was 9,000, how much was his income? So in this case, we can assume the fractions to be a certain amount. So let's say we are having a total amount in our mind. Total fraction is always 1. That's a whole. So it is this whole that we are removing pieces of it. So if I take away this, if this can be measured 2, 3, 4, 5. If I've taken 1, it means I'm taking 1 out of 5. If I've taken 2 of them, 2 out of 5. So this is the whole. So if this is taken as a fraction that can be reduced to a number, let's say 3. Then this is taken as what? 4. This is taken as 1. Then if I buy something 3 cedis, that is food, 3 cedis, and the total is 10 cedis. What will be the remainder? I will still not be having the 10 cedis in my hand. It's going to be the 10 cedis minus the 3 cedis. That will be the remaining. So it means at this point I'll be left with what? The 7 cedis. So I'll be spending the transport fee from the 7 cedis. You get that? But before then, they said 1/4 of the remaining. 1/4 of a number is mean we are multiplying. So 1/4 of, that is times the 7 cedis. So that concept is what we are building in to be able to see. After buying, your money will keep on reducing until you get to the minimum rate where you will be saving. So let's see. We can deduce that total fraction is equals to 1. Total fraction is always equals to 1 because that's the whole. So let's begin with, we have food, we have transport, and we have what? Miscellaneous. So let's begin with food. Then income spent on food. Income spent on food is going to be, he spent 3/7 of his income. So if that is the case, and we are saying the total fraction of the income is 1, then that is going to be 3 out of 7 times what? 1. 3/7 of the total, and the income is 1. So that will still give you 3 out of what? 7. Nothing changed. But we need to show that concept that it will be left with what? This. So after spending this out of 1, what will be left? Whatever is left is what I'll be thinking of using for the transport. So amount remaining is going to be what I have first, which is the total of 1, minus what I spend on what? Food. And how much did I spend? As a fraction is 3 out of 7. And if you are subtracting any number from 1, you only subtract the numerator from the denominator to get your numerator. Meaning 7 minus 3, that will be 4. Bring down 7. That will be the answer. No need looking for LCM. So this becomes the fraction that is left. Then I need to think of going into transport. So we can say that income spent on transport is also going to be, we are spending 1/4 of. So 1 out of 4 of what is remain, and what remain is now 4 out of 4, 7. We are spending 1/4 of our remainder of the money. We are no more having 1. We are not having what? 3 on 7. So now this is going to be 4, will cancel 4, I'll be left with 1 out of what? 7. So this is what I am going to be spending on transport. This is not what is left. This is the money we are spending, or the fraction spent on transport. So amount left after transport is going to be, how much was I having before? I was having 4 on 7. Then I spent 1 on what? 7. You see that? This is what we were having. After we finish buying the food, we are left with this fraction. Then we spend this on transport out of this. So the remainder is also going to be like fractions, the same denominator, we subtract the numerator. So 3 out of what? 7. So this is what is left after we finish the expenditure on transport. So what are we going to do again? Then 1/3 of what still remain. What is remaining? 3 out of what? 7. So 1/3 of that on miscellaneous. So let's just say miscellaneous is going to be 1/3 of that. So 1 out of 3 times 3 out of what? 7. I don't know if you're getting that. This is going to be 1/3 of what we have left. After we spend food, we spend on what? Transport. We are left with this amount. So 1/3 of this amount will be giving you 1 out of what? 7. Because 3 will cancel 3, we have 1 out of 7. So this amount is what we are spending on miscellaneous, not what is left. So after spending miscellaneous, what do you think is going to be the amount left? The amount left, I think I should be using fraction left, but I'm using amount, so no problem. That is going to be a fraction. So that is going to be, how much were we having before? We were having 3 on 7. Then we spend what? 1 on 7. So I'll be having 3 on 7 minus 1 on 7. The same denominator, you subtract the numerator, that will be 2 on 7. So in all, the fraction left is going to be 2 on 7. That is what we are left with. So this fraction is what is giving us an amount of what? 9,000. So we can even generate a ratio from here, saying that if 2 on 7 is the one giving us amount in money, 9,000, then 1, which is representing the total, will give you more. So if more, let's divide. We can do that approach. Or we can also use a variable to represent the amount. This is that fraction. All we are doing so far are all fraction. So we can just say, let y be the income. So if y is the income, what does it mean? It means that 2/7 of this very income is what we are saving. That's another leg of the argument. This is what is left. All these fractions are going to be spent on the actual money. So we are having 2/7 of the fraction being spent on the income that will have given us the 9,000. So I'll just say that from here, it will imply 2 out of 7 of y equals to our 9,000. This is a currency symbol. So we have 9,000. What do we do from here? I think we can either multiply both sides by 7 on 2. That is, you reciprocate 7 on 2. If you multiply here to cancel, I think 7, we can use 7 first to multiply, then divide by the 2. All boil down to the same thing. So from here, I'll only say multiply through by 7 on 2. So that I'll have 7 on 2 times 2 on 7y equal to 7 on 2 times 9,000. So that this 7 will cancel this, 2 will cancel this, you'll be left with y equals 2. Then we know 2 will go into 90, that will be 45. That's 4,500 times 7. That will give us our value for total money. So on our calculator, we'll be having 31500. That's what? 31,500. That is the actual income that we spend in terms of fraction. So what I said in the beginning, I mentioned that we can say that this. So we just say if 2 on 7 is giving us 9,000, then we expect the total fraction. This is just a fraction. This fraction is the one producing this. That is the remaining fraction. The remaining fraction equals to the remaining amount. So if the remaining fraction equals to the remaining amount, then the total fraction will be equal to the total amount. So if more is going to be more than this, if more, let's divide. So 1 divided by 2 on 7 times our 9,000. We can see here this is double division. So 7 go up to become 7 on 2 times our 9,000. You can see 7 on 2 times this will also give you the same 31,500. So either we use a variable for the income or we use ratio and proportion to arrive at the same money. I guess the concept is clear. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.